Here it is, the top 5 Dragon Ball Z movies, as per my opinion. Number 5 is Cooler's Revenge. So, yeah, this is a nice little top off to the Frieza saga. Nice little, I guess, mini version of that arc, which was pretty long, especially for that time. And I did like Cooler's design, especially once he went to that transformed state, the 5th state that he had, as it were. It's a really cool design, even though it kind of looked like the Shredder. But yeah, I did like him. Did like that. I did like the fact that it kind of started differently in the sense that they had to protect Goku because he got so injured earlier on, and so it was kind of a nice little twist on that. So instead of Goku always coming to save them, they had to save Goku. So once that was done, then they had some pretty cool fights, and I did like Piccolo having more to do with this one. Again, this is before Vegeta showed up in these movies, and he does a pretty cool job fighting off the henchmen. And so they did had Gohan do some stuff as well, Krillin. So they kept it kind of a core. This is where they really moved away from like Tenshinhan, Yamcha, and Chaozu. And I think I have a soft spot for this movie because the fight scenes with Goku and Cooler. I forgot. I blanked on say I was about to call him Frost for some reason. That's when started Dragon Ball Super. But between Goku and Cooler, I did like those fights. Maybe because when I watched them on DVD, they had Disturbed as the background music, and it kind of felt like an AMV. And I've liked those for probably a good decade at least. And so I really liked that fight. And part of it maybe because of the music. And I like Disturbed. And they had Down with the Sickness. And yeah, good music to go with that fight scene. So, and I like the fact that they use different songs for each part of the battle. So, and not to mention, yeah, it ended kind of quickly, but I'm glad that they gave this fight plenty of time, whereas sometimes the fights, especially in some of the other movies that are further down my list, they don't get the kind of time I think they deserve. Number 4 is Dead Zone. Probably the first Dragon Ball Z movie, if I'm remembering correctly. This one, I have a soft spot for this movie as well because I used to rent this movie on VHS back in the day. Ask your parents what that was, for you kids watching. And this was again an Ocean dub, but this was not a TV edit. It actually showed people getting killed and beaten up and all that stuff. And not to mention, it showed a villain that actually got what they wanted with the Dragon Balls, Garlic Jr. And he got his immortality. And not to mention, this is where we would first see Gohan's hidden potential if you didn't watch the Raditz story arc. Or this would actually could be put canonically into the Dragon Ball Z lore. Just put it right before they introduce Raditz into the story. So this could actually fit in. Not to mention, I did like the fight between the henchmen, Krillin and Piccolo helping out with that. Not to mention that 2-on-1 fight with Goku and Piccolo versus Garlic Jr. and finding out that oh crap, this guy is immortal. The ending could be considered kind of weak for some people, but I did like seeing Gohan having his time to show he has some hidden potential. And even in the original anime, in the English dub at least, they even mentioned his fight with Garlic Jr. So good stuff. And my only complaint about it is that that weird trippy song in the middle of it was kind of weird. But what can you do? I definitely better than the one they had in World's Strongest, that's for sure. But yeah, pretty good. Number 3 is Battle of the Gods. This is the movie after I kind of skipped this movie for quite a while because I thought it was going to be just like GT or some of the other Dragon Ball Z movies where everybody's useless except Goku. But what really caught me was the fact that Beerus took out Goku first. And I was like, okay, now you've done something interesting. Now you've done something new, and you have my attention. And I like the fact that Vegeta has to really go against his type and kind of act like a fool in order to try and satiate Beerus, because he knows nobody can take out and even try and put up a fight against Beerus. If Kakarot couldn't do it at Super Saiyan 3, no way he or anybody else could. And I did like the mystery of what is the Super Saiyan God? What is it? Is it a power? Is it a person? But my only complaint about it is the design of the Super Saiyan God. It's kind of a lazy design. It kind of looks like a reskinned Kaioken. But I did like the fact that normal people can't sense the power of a God of Destruction or the Super Saiyan God. That sort of thing is kind of interesting, because it makes you think, oh, what else can they do with this power? And I'm glad they finally brought it back towards the end of Dragon Ball Super, at least in the anime. And I like the fights. There's some really good fights. The first one with Beerus and Goku is really good because it shows how dominant Beerus is. And I like of course, the whole "what did you do to my Bulma" was just so good. And it brings a smile and a laugh to me every time. And then when Goku talk crap about him afterwards, it's funny. It's good. I like that. Not to mention the final fight between Goku and Beerus when Goku's in Super Saiyan God form. It's a good fight. There's really good use of the animation, and it's one of the better fights, especially in the movies. And so yeah, good stuff. I like it. I like it quite a lot, and definitely deserve to be in the top 3. But number 2 is Fusion Reborn. Now, this one is kind of cool because it's a movie that takes place in 2 different spots. It happens in the world of the living and in Hell. And in the world of the living, you have Gohan and everybody else basically trying to, keep everybody safe with this invasion of all these different bad guys from Hell, from Dragon Ball Z's lore. And what Gohan does to Frieza made me shout in joy. Like, yeah, there you go. That's a Gohan I know, and it was awesome. And not to mention, but I wanted to see more of that. I wanted to see more of Gohan kicking ass. But we did have a really good fight with Goku and this villain Janemba, or Janemba, however you pronounce it. But it's kind of like Boo, where it starts off really fat and jolly and kind of joyful and playful. But then when it transforms after Goku kicks its ass for the first time, it's this new, very devilish form, and it looks really good. Not to mention the powers that it has is very unique and interesting, especially for a movie villain, which we don't really see a lot of unique stuff coming from these villains. I like the fight with him and Janemba, the more devilish form. I like Vegeta saving him. I like him telling him, we have to fuse in order to beat this bad guy, because neither one of us can do it by ourselves. And I did like the comedy of him trying to show what the fusion dance is, and Vegeta, of course, refusing to do it because it looks ridiculous, which it does. And I did like the fusion with Goten and Trunks having that assault on the zombies coming to attack the world of living. There's some really good stuff in this. Really good animation, really good fight scenes, and by the end you're like, yeah, that was good. That was a really good movie. It was actually the first movie I ever watched in Japanese, because a buddy of mine had it when I was back in the day. Oh man, memories. But the number one Dragon Ball Z movie, in my opinion, is BoJack Unbound. Man, what a victory lap this movie is. It's the perfect victory lap for the Cell Saga. My favorite Dragon Ball Z arc. My favorite Dragon Ball arc, period. And I like BoJack. BoJack has a great design, great look, great attitude, great, great character, and he has a great personality. Not to mention the fact he has really cool henchmen that have some interesting powers, and they all have personalities themselves, especially since it's only 4 of them main, and one of them gets taken out earlier by Trunks, that it allows you to give them some sort of personality and some sort of like mischievous edge to them, which is pretty cool. And the fact that Bojack has a real vindictive, sadistic aura about him, it's cool to see that. And the way that he fights and the way that they all fight together. That 4-on-1 fight with Gohan in the middle of it is really good. And I really enjoy that. And the other Z fighters having a chance to fight as well. Tenshinhan and Yamcha get taken out easily, but Tenshinhan has an earlier fight with Trunks that's actually pretty good. And it's a nice little warm-up to what we will get later on. Not to mention the fact that Gohan looks real badass in that gi that looks just like his dad's. And it's really cool. Great fight scenes. Everybody gets a chance to get in the action on this one. I like Vegeta's badass entrance when he saves Trunks, and the ending is just really good, and it has a nice little bit of heart to it with what happens with Gohan and Goku. And yeah, there's not much else I can say. It's my favorite Dragon Ball Z movie, and it's so good. And man, do I enjoy it. I might watch it again before I go and watch Broly. Hopefully this one, the new Broly movie, will make it more towards this top 5 and not towards the bottom 5. So let me know what you think. What's your favorite Dragon Ball Z movie? Let me know in the comments. And next, I want to go into basically Dragon Ball's present with the current Dragon Ball Super manga and anime that just ended. And so I want to talk about that. And then I'm going to get into the movie Broly. So until then, take care. Bye.